If you get into meditation far enough, if you walk this path long enough, you're able to answer the question the way the meditation masters answer the question. When they were asked, well, what about other people? And they said, there are no other people. And that's the truth. The truth is the awareness that you are is the awareness that I am. And just because we have different physical bodies and we're living in a time-space reality temporarily, we take that to be reality when it's not. Scientists tell us time is not real, space is not real. These are all perceptions that we're having. But the one thing that science can't deal with, it's called the difficult problem, is consciousness. Because there is nothing realer than consciousness, and yet we can't prove its existence. It's an interesting problem for scientists. There's nothing realer than consciousness. You experience nothing more realer than the awareness that you are. That's the most real thing you will ever experience while you're in this temporary visit called your human life. The meditation, if you practice it the way it's meant to be done, is psychotherapy. It is definitely psychotherapy. I teach it to all my clients, well, the ones that are, willing in my psychology practice, because it can be very powerful and very useful if you're going to talk about how your life is going. Don't you think it would be fundamental if you're going to talk to a psychologist about how your life is going for you to know who you are? If you don't know who you are, what are we talking about? If you come to see me as a psychotherapist, we're talking about the illusion you keep experiencing called you. That's not going to be very stable for us to talk about, and it's not. People come into psychotherapy, they have one conversation, the next week they come back, I don't know if I'm talking to the same person. That's how unstable your personality is. That's how unstable human life is for most of us, right? If you look at it, the world's changing all the time. Your body's changing all the time. Your mind's changing all the time. Your emotions are changing all the time. Where are you going to have any stability? Where is there going to be anything that's consistent, I always kid around about it, but that's why people get married. They're trying to get some consistency. If I get a license for this relationship, maybe she can't leave and I can count on it. Of course, we know how that works. It has made lawyers very wealthy. And I can speak from there because I've done it 4 times and I've realized it just doesn't work to do that. So thank God I stopped before it's too late. And I highly invite you to stop before it's too late. Stop managing your relationships with your mind, and you might start to discover the possibility of them working. So any questions about any of that?